In American English, we have voiced and unvoiced sounds. All vowels are voiced. All diphthongs are voiced. Consonants can be either voiced or unvoiced. Unvoiced consonants are made just with air, no sound from the vocal cords. For example, sh, t, p. Voiced consonants do have voice in them, like b, j, sh, t, p. B, j. There are lots of consonant pairs where the mouth position is the same, and one is voiced, the other is unvoiced. For example, ch, j. Every once in a while, I'll get a comment on a video asking about the pronunciation of these paired consonants at the end of a word. These come from people with a good ear that pay attention to what they hear. Mostly they say, I don't hear a voiced consonant, I hear an unvoiced consonant. They're right. We're going to get into a topic here that is quite advanced. It deals with subtle differences of sound. Let's take, for example, the word flowers. In IPA, we spell that like this. The ending consonant is the Z sound, which is voiced. But actually, that kind of sounds like an S at the end, doesn't it? Flowers. A really weak, light S. It doesn't have a strong S. Flowers. That's not correct, but it also doesn't have a strong Z. Flowers. Z. Flowers. It actually has a very weak S. Several years ago, I was reading an old pronunciation book, and it said how in these voiced, unvoiced pairs, the unvoiced is strong and the voiced is weak. I didn't really know what that meant until I started thinking about ending consonants. These ending consonants are so weak that we take the voice out of them, and they end up sounding like weak, unvoiced sounds. So the word is not flowers or flowers, but flowers. A weak, unvoiced consonant. Let's look at a few more words. Dive. It's really a very weak F. It's not dive or dife, but dive. Garage. It's a very weak, unvoiced sh sound. It's not garage or garage, but garage. Badge. Very weak, unvoiced sound. Not batch or badge, but badge. Weakening these ending voiced consonants can help you say the words more easily and more naturally. Let's study the word badge a little further and compare it with batch. Badge. Batch. The ending of badge is weak. Badge. The ending of batch is stronger. Batch. That's not the only difference. The unvoiced ending also makes the vowel a little bit shorter. Badge. Batch. They don't sound quite the same. First of all, the ending of batch is stronger. Badge. Batch. Ch, ch, instead of ch, ch. Also, the vowel is longer on the word badge. Vowels are a little longer before voiced endings in these kinds of minimal pairs. So you have two clues to help you figure out which word it is: the strength of the ending and the length of the vowel. But there is a time when the weak ending gets stronger. Do you know when that is? It's when we link it to a word that begins with a vowel or diphthong. In a consonant-to-vowel link, it helps to think of the ending consonant as beginning the next word. So if you think of it as a beginning consonant, then it gets much stronger. Let's go back to the word flowers and put it in a phrase. Flowers on the table. Flowers on. Flowers on. Now I'm hearing a little bit more of a clear Z sound. Zon, zon, zon. Flowers on. It's stronger than when the word was at the end of a sentence. I love flowers. Flowers on. Z, z, z. So if the ending, weak voiced consonant, links into a vowel, it's not really that weak anymore. This topic was pretty advanced, so if you don't understand, don't worry. If you do, think of lightening ending voiced consonants and see if that helps make the pronunciation of these words easier. If there's a word or phrase
Pronunciation exercise. Please watch and repeat after me.
cats, bats, hats, cats, bats, hats. Z, z, z.
Pronunciation exercise. Please watch and repeat after me.
Z, z. Cards. Z, z. Seeds. Z, z. Needs. Z, z. Cards. Z, z. Seeds. Z, z. Needs. Today I'm going to talk about how to pronounce the past tense of regular verbs. Regular verbs take the ed ending in the past. There are 3 different ways to pronounce the ed. How you pronounce it depends on the final sound of the verb in the infinitive form. When the final sound of the verb in infinitive form is an unvoiced consonant sound, then the ed is also pronounced as an unvoiced consonant, and that is the t sound. For example, the word pack. When you add the ed, it becomes packed, because the k sound is unvoiced. Other unvoiced sounds are p, f, s, ch, sh, and f. So any regular verb that ends in one of these sounds will have the ed pronounced as the t sound. The second case is when the final sound of the infinitive verb is a voiced consonant or a vowel or a diphthong sound. In this case, the ed is pronounced as the d sound of voiced consonant. For example, the verb to save. The final sound is the v voiced consonant sound, so the ed will take the d voiced d sound ending. Saved, saved. V, b, g, v, z, ž, n, So any regular verb ending in one of these consonant sounds or a vowel or diphthong sound will take the d sound when the ed is added. The final case is when the verb in the infinitive form ends in either a D or T sound. In this case, the ending is pronounced with the I as in sit vowel and the D sound. For example, the verb to land. It ends with the D sound, so the past tense of this regular verb is landed, id, with the I as in sit and the D sound. Landed. Now we will look at some regular verbs. Based on the information you just heard, you should now be able to tell how the ed will be pronounced. How do you pronounce this word? The final sound of the verb in the infinitive form to bake is the k sound. It's unvoiced. Therefore, the ed is pronounced t, unvoiced with the t sound. Baked, baked. How do you pronounce this word? In the infinitive, the final sound is the d sound. Therefore, it is case 3, ended, where the ed is pronounced with the I as in sit and the d sound. Ended. How do you pronounce this word? The final sound of the verb in infinitive form is the n consonant sound. This is a voiced consonant. Therefore, it is case 2, where the ed is pronounced as the d sound. Leaned, leaned. How do you pronounce this word? The infinitive form to believe ends in the v consonant sound, which is voiced. Therefore, it is again case 2, where the ed is pronounced as the d sound. Believed. How do you pronounce this word? The final sound in infinitive form is sh, the unvoiced sh sound. Since it is unvoiced, it is case 1, where the ed is pronounced as a t. Washed, washed. How do you pronounce this sound? In the infinitive, the final sound of the verb is p, which is unvoiced. Therefore, it is case 1, and the ed is pronounced as a t. Flipped, flipped. How do you pronounce this word? The final sound in the infinitive is the n consonant sound, n, which is voiced. Therefore, it is case 2, where the ed is pronounced as the d sound. Turned, turned. How do you pronounce this verb? The final sound in the infinitive is the e as in she vowel sound. Since it is a vowel, it must be case 2, where the ed is pronounced as the d sound. Carried, carried. How do you pronounce this verb? The final infinitive sound is s, the s sound. That is unvoiced, so it is case 1, where the ed is pronounced as the t sound. Missed, missed. How do you pronounce this word? The final infinitive sound is the t sound. This means it is case 3, where the ed is pronounced as the I as in sit with the d sound. Punted, punted. How do you pronounce this word? The final sound in the infinitive is the m consonant sound. It is voiced. Therefore, it is case 2, and the ed is pronounced as the d. Bummed, bummed. How do you pronounce this sound? The final sound in the infinitive is f, the unvoiced f sound. Since it's unvoiced, it is case 1, where the ed is pronounced as the t sound. Laughed, laughed. How do you pronounce this word? The final sound in the infinitive is the I as in by diphthong. Therefore, it is case 2, and the ed is pronounced as the d sound. Shied, shied. How do you pronounce this word? The final sound of the infinitive form of the verb is the t sound. Therefore, it is case 3 where the ed is pronounced as the I as in sit with the D sound. Rested, rested. How do you pronounce this word? The final sound of the verb in infinitive form is ch. That is an unvoiced consonant sound. Therefore, it is case 1 where the ed is pronounced as the T sound. Watched, watched. How do you pronounce this word? The final sound of the verb in the infinitive form is the D sound. Therefore, it is case 3 where the ed is pronounced as the I as in sit with the D sound. Needed, needed. Congratulations! Now you know how to pronounce regular verbs in the past tense.